Hello and welcome back to Court Farm, the ever beautiful Court Farm. Right, as we are in September still, pretty much again where we left off from the last episode, I have completed all the rolling for our canola field, so that is very good. It does say there are weeds growing, but we will have weeds growing in the canola, the linseed and the rye as well, and we'll try and tackle those all at once when they are actually visible, and we'll probably get a weeder for that, but that will be in October. But we are still in September, so we do have a few things to do. The first thing I'd like to get done, well, we will be probably working in the Ford quite a bit today, so we'll hop in there, and we are going to connect to the mower. I would like to actually get this bottom bit of the grassy field all cut, and which will allow us to re-drill that as something else as well. Now, I know we did a load of drilling here, but the nice thing is this is something we will not have to re-drill in the future, because my plan is to drill alfalfa. Maybe in the future we will re-drill where the rye is and where the alfalfa will be into one big crop, but for now, while there is nothing visible in the rye field, I reckon it's a good time to get some of this cut. So this area here we will cut, and now the only thing that's a bit frustrating is I wanted to do it all as silage, but as you can tell, we do have our pit full currently of silage. Now the nice thing is, it is, oh wow, it is ready actually, it is ready to go. Problem is, we don't have anything to do with it just yet. So it does have to stay, unfortunately. Might as well just keep it covered up for now, because we don't have any animals to give it to. And I suppose we could actually get some animals. Oh no. Is that another thing we're going to do in September? Right, well, we shall see, because we can't sell any silage until January, and the wheat, we have pretty much everything we have that we could sell cannot be sold until January, so we are not stuck for cash, because there are contracts available as well, so that's a possibility, but we shall see. Right, we'll hop back in the Ford, might as well crack on with it. I can ramble while I mow. I'll just get set up here. This, I will try and mow it as nicely and clean as possible, because I did realise this after the fact, but once we mow this area, we do also have to ensure it is with conditioner, because we do not want to make that mistake again, although it was so minor anyways, not a big problem. But it is set, and we are off. Right, so as soon as we start mowing this, it immediately becomes a field. Now the nice thing about this is that we do not have to cultivate. Now, I'll probably... well, for now I'll just go round and see how that goes. What that means is that we do not have to cultivate the field before we drill. Now, I know that I cultivated the other fields, but it did add a bit of realism to it, I suppose. But since we are just going to be drilling alfalfa in, I reckon we can direct drill without having to cultivate. Now, there will still be a bit of a outskirts of grass here, but we might go back round actually. Actually, I don't know. I might keep that round. I know we can't destroy the alfalfa once it's in the ground, or once it's growing even, or ready to go, because it is like grass. But if we do in the future decide to do this as a different crop, then it would be nice to have that bit of a border around of whatever crop is in there. So probably just keep this as our headland, which is brilliant. Might as well go all the way. There we go. How's that look? That looks quite good. So it's quite a fairly big space, and I know the first few episodes here have been mowing, rowing, cultivating and drilling, but it will all come to an end soon when all the harvesting is necessary. And of course we won't be ending rowing and cutting and all that, because it's a constant job that needs doing, because we will have animals that require all sorts of things, hay and silage and other items as well, but we'll get into that when we need to. So I have the canola crop as well for our cows in the future. So with this field, as you can probably see, brilliant. See, well, you can see the precision farming map down there. I will get rid of that for now, but I'll show you on here because you should be able to see that it is turning into a field space, as did these, as you can see a bit there as well, at the top of our canola field, but that is great because we do not have to cultivate. I know I've said that, but I just want to make certain that I don't forget it when it comes time to drilling. But we will be drilling alfalfa in here, so that we can get some alfalfa hay and potentially alfalfa silage. So since I am going to, well, our pit is full, so we can't really do silage in the pit. What I've decided to do is do silage bales. I mentioned that an episode or two ago about potentially doing bales as well, and I think it's a brilliant idea because we need as much silage as we can get. And yes, I could do hay, but I've decided that silage will be better off for us. If we don't get animals straight away, we can sell it, the silage of course, and get a nice profit on that because it does sell for a lot. So the plan is I will get this cut, I'll get it all rowed up, baled, and then we will probably just lease out a wrapper. We're not going to buy one. One is a financial thing because we don't really have the money for it. Two, we do also need other kit like a weeder, for example, which we might also just have to lease out. And three, well, I just don't know if we're going to continue on with bales, wrapping bales, I guess, in the future. So I think leasing out a bit of kit is fine. Not necessarily lease to own, just hire for the day sort of thing. But if we do have it, and there are some cheeky silage baling contracts nearby, we might look into that as well. And here's the last bit of grass ready to be cut, and it is done. Fantastic. So I would say this is a fantastic little space. Really, really nice. And we've we've literally mowed all the grass we possibly could have on this property, except for that small corner there. I will round this off though. Just here, well, square it off. I suppose it's already a bit round. That's why. The rye is fine to be rounded off like that, but I will just square this up directly along with the rye, which is why I wanted to do this while it was yeah, nothing in the field really. And there we go. So when we drill the alfalfa, I might still avoid that area, but at least it's cut. Or I could, I don't know. I really haven't decided yet because this is a massive space. So if we really want to get serious in the future about maybe the mill, for example, if we want to do some sort of bread or something, flour, for example, with rye, it would be nice to have a bigger field for arable. But we are literally just the beginning of everything, so no rush for that. Right, so we'll just I'll put the mower here for now, because we do need to get out... Oh, it's all buried in there. We do need to get the row out. What I'm going to do with the windrow... We have a very small windrow, so... Oh, hello. Please don't climb the hill, Mr. Mower. Right, we do have a very tiny windrow, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. It just takes a bit of extra time to get all the rowing done, so I probably won't stick it in a full-on time-lapse. But we'll definitely get it done. Some on camera, some off. And then we will get the baling done. Now for the baling, I reckon the best I'm going to stick this in a different area, actually. Ah, I think I know where I'll put it. I'll put it in this other shed here, because we won't need... Oh, we do need it soon. Right. Just going to stick it here then for now, at the top here. We do need potentially some more sheds as well, or some more storage sort of space, but I'll just leave it there for the time being, as long as it doesn't roll down the hill. Brilliant. Right, we will do 150 centimeter bales. That's the biggest size we can do for silage with the wrapper I have in mind. Now, it's a wrapper I've never used, but I'm very excited to try it out. But it should allow us to wrap the bales and also place them all in kind of one motion. Now, you might know what I'm on about already, but if not, you will see very soon. But the first thing we have to do, as I say, is get it all rowed up. Now, for the rowing, well, the mowing was very nice to do just to carry on in circles around the field. That mower is brilliant for it. With the with the rowing, I will not do that, because I don't think it will be as nice to do. So I will try and pick a direction that seems the most appropriate. Now, if we're looking at the field like that, it's fairly square, so there's not really any... It will come back for that little bit there. There's not really any particularly fantastic direction to go. I suppose this way is the longest. But we'll see, As I say, I'll put this partially a time-lapse, and we might do a bit of a jump cut halfway through, just because we have done loads of rowing in the last few episodes. So we'll crack on with it. Alright, so as you can see, I have decided actually that I will put a helper on the rowing. I have no idea how this is going to go, but this does allow us the opportunity to get some baling done while the helper is rolling, which is very crucial to us. But what... Before we crack on with the baling, I just want to ensure that this goes... Alright. Oh, you've made a mess of my row. As long as it goes and puts the row into one and not two separate rows, then happy days. If not, I might have to have words with the helper here and see what the plan is. Please put it in a nice row. You know what? That's almost as good as my work. Brilliant. We'll get in the massey, get the baler, we can start baling. Right, so before we actually crack on, I reckon now's a good time to order a bit of fuel. We do have the silo, we might as well use it, and the massey has been very busy, so we do need a bit of fuel. We don't want to fill it. We want maybe... Let's do 500 litres for now. And at least we have some in the tank, so that is good, because it is nice to have a tank there on the land. Hang on, let's just have a quick peek, see how he's doing. Right, as long as there's no, you know what? As long as there's no missed bits, it's absolutely fine. Where's the massey? And we'll get it refueled. And how much will we have remaining? What did I put? 500, so okay, that's a fair amount. But we are full up, and we'll get the baler going and crack on with it. As you can see with our lovely motor there, I do have the Marston trailer on, which does, let's be honest, looks a bit silly on there. It's a bit too big for it. I have had the absolute pleasure of being gifted a converted mod from FS19 by one David Van Mol. Absolute bloody legend. And you'll see why once we actually get the mod going. It might be an impulsive purchase I make in this episode. It might also not be. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I do want to confirm that we're at 150. Now this could be problematic. This is going to put out a hay bale, which I suppose is alright. Here, we'll start here. Now it might convert it over to... Here, before we do, let's... sorry, was it Control X? We'll get that reset. Get it fired up. Get that put away. See what happens. Ah, perfect. So it's converted it to grass, which is brilliant, because the silage is worth more money. And it's a nice big... Oh no, but we can't wrap it because it's a big bale. Right, well, we'll sort that out. If anything, we might even cut it open and stick it in the pit the next time we do silage in the pit. That is probably the way that we'll do it. Right, let's crack on with the baling. I just want to turn this corner to see how the Ford is getting on. Oh yeah, that's brilliant. That is. I was really worried about it taking bloody ages to do the rowing. We will eventually purchase a a bigger windrower in time, but so far, look at that. It's quite impressive actually. They're doing quite well. That's 150. Looks tiny. Well, compared to the 180, I suppose it would, wouldn't it? We'll try and keep bales out of the helper's way. We might have to sort of maneuver around, but we will get it done. And for now, we'll crack on with the baling time-lapse. Right, well, as you can see, we do now have a fair amount of bales produced, and I've had to help the helper a few times because they just got a bit confused, I guess. I think it was because I left a row around. I did a bit of a headland first, and then, yeah, I think that just sort of confused them a little bit. So what we're going to do, how many bales have we had so far? 11. That's not bad at all. What I think would be the best course of action is to, once we bale them, to put them directly onto a trailer, because I would rather use the silage... Well, I don't know, actually. I think it would... I don't know. I was going to say we should sell the bales and keep the silage in the pit for animals and all that, because it's easier, and actually that might be the best thing to do. Yeah. Otherwise, I was just going to stick these in a corner somewhere, but I think we'll put them on the Marston. So what I might do, on the Marston trailer, of course, is I might... right, while the helper is finishing up this, I will get the JCB. I know there's a couple bags of seed on the trailer currently. Also, something that I did in the last few episodes that I will not be doing in the future, I will really try my best to not, because again, I would like to try and have as much of a realistic approach to this series as I can, with very minimal knowledge of what I'm doing, but nevertheless I will try my best with it, is to actually empty the big bags into the spreader, seeder, whatever it is, directly, versus refilling as an option. I would really like to try and do that in the future, again, just to add a bit of realism, and it's something I've never really done in FS, but we have the means to do it, so I think not doing it is just doing a disservice to the fact that we can, again, if that makes sense. Right, so if I do a contract in this episode, I might get some helpers on it, just to speed it along, but any contract we do might actually provide a nice chunk of income. So we will have to see what happens. And as I said, this trailer it fits actually quite nicely on the Land Rover here, but there is another trailer I have in mind that fits even better. So we might actually impulsively purchase it, just as I did the motor, later on, when we go to pick up our wrapper, but we shall see. Right, so these... Where should we put you? I think in that small shed for now is fine. Oh no, what's happened? Oh, bloody Nora, what has happened? Unbelievable. Blocked indeed. Blimey. Right, I don't think you have to go there anymore. Here, we'll just clean this edge up. What I'll do is I'll clean this up and set the helper off again, and then we can crack on with some more baling. Alright, well, I will actually take over for the helper here, get the rest rowed up, get the rest baled up, and we'll see you in a moment. Well, that worked out perfectly. 5% of a bale is fantastic, because you never want it to be, you know, 90% with no grass remaining. So there we have it. What a fantastic pair of grass work tractors. We had a great time with that. Right, let's have a look though. How many bales? 14 bales. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I am still a bit indecisive as to what to do next, because I think I'd like to put these onto the Marston if they'll all fit. Will they all fit is a different matter altogether. My initial thought was to potentially put them along this hedge here. Get out of here, birds. And it would actually just be enough room for a bale, actually. It should be perfect size to just run them along here. Potentially I'll do that. But before we do anything... Right, because if I do a contract, but we'll look at that later on. I was thinking about doing a baling contract, since we'll have a silage wrapper, a bale wrapper on lease anyways. So that might be something we look at. Plus... you know, if I'm going to impulsively go buy things, it would probably best to have money to do that. You know what? Let's have a look at contracts. Although the day is running out of time. No, I think first things first is we will get in the motor, we'll head to the shop, we'll collect our bale wrapper, and because it will fit onto the JCB, so we can use the shoppy shop down there to actually load it onto our trailer, and then when we come back we can start baling. Well, start wrapping actually, because we've done the baling. Getting behind myself now. Right, we'll see you at the shop. Alright, here we are at the shop, and as you can see I do not have the Marston trailer, which means it's time to purchase something impulsively. You ready? First we'll check the sales. Nothing new. Now we'll head all the way down to low loaders, and we'll go all the way to the end. And we will purchase... oh, we've got to fix the brakes on that. An Eiffel Williams trailer, transport trailer. Now, as I said, the absolute bloody legend that David is, has David Van Moor, has converted this over, and he's sent me a copy, and it's absolutely fantastic. So, without further ado, let's see what we need to do. I think standard is fine. We can always upgrade it in the future. The wheels as standard are fine. Yeah, we won't get too complicated with it. Again, yeah, this is just a quick convert, so it's fine. We'll just keep it as... well, we can just stick that on. I know it's not where we are. We're not in Northern Ireland, but that's fine. A cover we won't put. We just don't need it. Maybe when we have the higher sides on, we can. But this is perfect. So yes, it is impulsive. It's £9,530. We do not have to spend on a trailer, but I just done it. So moving on from that, that basically says to us, you know what that says? It says we have to do contracts now. So we will get some contracts done in October, which is fine, because I don't want to skip time. I would much prefer to make some money doing contracts than skip through the winter months. because there are many fields and many contracts surely that we can get done. So let's get the back part open. How do we do that? No, we don't need that. That's the door. Oh, that does the door end. Right. Ah, there we go. Brilliant. So we have the back open. Now we'll head back into the shop because we are going to lease out a bale wrapper. Now I'm going to use the Goale G101-5 because it attaches to our telehandler, which is brilliant, which means we can wrap and load at the same time, essentially. We'll go for black bales. That's something I don't often do, so we'll do some nice black wrap for that. So we're not going to purchase this, although we could just afford it. We are going to lease it for the day. Now I think we'll keep it under an hour, but we'll definitely lease it. Now we might keep it an extra day beyond today if we are to do some silage bale contracts. Problem is, I don't know if I can accept a contract today and do it tomorrow, because we still, before the end of September, I fully intend on drilling in some alfalfa and getting it rolled up. So that might mean that we are working into the night, but that's fine. And happy days for us. We can use the Shoppy Shop Farson to load this onto the trailer. Excellent. Get it nice and lined up, get it loaded on, and then when we get back to the farm, the JCB can remove it. Absolutely fantastic, that. Look at that. Right, we'll just get the forks put back on, we'll hop back in the Land Rover, and we'll see you back at the farm. Alright, well here we are back at the farm, and we'll just get this brought over here a bit closer to the bales, and that should be about fine there. Now we'll get the back opened up. There we go. I know I sometimes open the side door there. Let's get that shut down, get the straps taken off as well. Nice, brilliant. So, find out JCB, up the fence. Here we are. Might as well just leave the forks there for the time being. That should be fine. Right, so with this baler, as I said, we will be... I think the best course of action would be to wrap, and then to place them where we want them as best as we can. Now, I think it might be a bit difficult because, well, I know that I'm not really good with these sort of grabs, like this sort of bale grab setup, but it should work out fine. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it goes, but it does look very good on the JCB, I will admit. Perhaps this is something we will purchase in the future. Right, so it's unfolded, and right, so that's our first big bale. It's not going to allow us to wrap that, so we'll have to move that out of the way also with the JCB. But what I'm going to do... Now I wonder, you know what might be a bit of a cheeky tactic here to get things kicked off, is to actually allow a helper to start drilling the alfalfa while we bale. I really think that's a good idea. So before here, I'm just going to shut the engine down on that, because I really do think that would be the best course of action. But now, what are we doing with these bales? Right, here's something I want to check as well. If we do contracts, I want to consider leasing something like this to transport. That's fairly expensive. Yeah, I think if we were to do silage bales in a contract, we would want to... We would kind of need to actually pick them up ourselves. That is a tough call to make. Let's have a look though. This is the area we're in now. So let's get a reference for some contracts. Now, something I've noticed which is brilliant, put details on, go back to the map, look at that. It actually shows the fields in which have contracts available, which is brilliant. But what could we do? What is the best course of action for us? Now there's two here. These are very local to us as well. 32 is a bale wrapping contract. 33 looks like it's just hay. But let's have a look. So 32, 33. Right, 32 and 33. Now, I'd like to look at profit per minute. Actually, let's sort them by profit per minute. 32 is a very profitable, because we'll be selling some silage as well. You know, for that price, I reckon we could rent out the. But look at the kit they give you. That's crazy big kit compared to what we have. But again, even if we were to earn 10,000 or whatever, 12,000 from it with the help of helpers, I think it would be all right and potentially very worth it. Because if you go look at here, 33 is not as wicked of a profit per minute, but it does say 26 minutes, which I think for us would be a lot less, or sorry, a lot more for our small kit. But as I say, let's get to start. We'll get the Massey all set up on the seed drill, and we'll get some alfalfa in the ground. Right, so a slight change of plans. So I'm not going to drill the alfalfa in this month. I will wait till October. Now I am hoping that because the grass will probably already start trying to grow back, so hopefully we can still drill into the ground, direct drill, with alfalfa in October, so we shall see. But as you can see, I am making my way to field 32 because we are in fact going to get the contract started now, so I will accept it now. Hopefully we have the opportunity to complete it in the next month. I won't be it doesn't look all that big from here, to be honest. It doesn't. I mean, it's still a massive field, but I am going to set a helper off because we still have to get these bales all sorted in our own field. So what I'm going to do is I will set the helper off here, but we should probably accept first. This is field 32, right? It is. So field 32. It's a great bit of contract. We'll probably end up leasing out some sort of carrier for the bales, because our trailer is, as you can see just over there, ready to go for our own bales, which is the best place I think to store them. We can always remove them if need be, but we'll let the helper do their thing here, because at the very least we can have something started, which is absolutely brilliant. Now I'm looking at the map there. We do have to transport them all the way to the BGA, which is literally the other side of the map, but it will give us an opportunity to visit the biogas plant. So we will get started. We'll get back into the JCB and we can actually have a look at how a helper is getting on over there. So let's see, how does this work? Let's have a look. Is the helper alright? Brilliant. Okay, so if we go up to it, it just starts. That is amazing. That is amazing. Right, so we'll get that wrapping, and let's see how this looks. So I'm hoping that we can easily just, well, let's find out. Let's have a look. So if we put it right there, and then right, we want to unload it. We don't want to oh, if that, can we back straight out? Oh, that's alright. That is not too bad. If anything, we can just give it a cheeky knock towards the front there. Haha, brilliant. I will absolutely strap that down though. Not gonna take any chances with it, and we can crack on getting all of the bales wrapped, and then eventually we will keep this mod. We will keep this mod. Well, it is a mod, but we'll keep this kit, the wrapper, for doing that silage as well. It will be very useful, but luckily we won't have to worry about putting them on a trailer. We will lease the bale, what is it? It's not an, it's like an auto stacker. It's not auto load by any means. It is something that we can just load the bales onto or pick them up automatically, and it will make transporting them all the way to the BGA much easier. Now let's try this one more time here before we go. Hello, crack off into a time lapse. So if we hit Y, right, that is absolutely fine, because now we can just give it another little knockdown. I think, oh no, worked so well the first time. Right, we'll just give it a cheeky push towards this side, but that should be fine, and then we'll get, what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 8 on the bottom, and we have 14 in total. So, yeah, this should be a perfect amount of bales for our little mast and trailer here. Right, don't want to push it too much. I think that will be absolutely fine. This is mostly a storage trailer at this point now, until we actually either sell or use these silage bales. Right, well, let's crack on with it. Alright, well, that was interesting to say the very least. I will be honest, at least we got them, most of them, on there. I will get that shifted on there as well. But that is not too bad. So we got 8 on the bottom, 10, 12, and 13. So it was 14, but that we had this this big grass bale here, and I believe it is a grass bale, but at 180 centimeters, yes, we cannot wrap it, unfortunately, but that is alright. We will sort out that other bale there, and we'll tuck the trailer away also, and then we can have a look at how the helper is getting on, which is absolutely fantastic. One thing I've just realized, before we actually run out of day, it is now 5:55 PM, and I believe the shop does close at 6. I'm going to very quickly ring the shop, see if they can put out 1 bag of fertilizer for us and just tuck it outside. We'll pay for it now, but if they can tuck it just outside the shop and help load it onto the trailer, then that would be brilliant, because we do want to fertilize that field before the end of the month. So I best ring them quickly, and then we can head down there and pick up our bag of fertilizer. Alright, we are back now at the farm, and we have our bag of fertilizer. A very lovely gentleman actually remained back and waited for us to arrive, and he loaded it up for us. Very, very kind indeed. So as you can see, we have paid for the bag. Now we're our total now is at 13,311, and it'll keep going down because we do have a helper currently in the contracted field, which is fine. That's absolutely fine that we are paying for some hired help with that, because honestly it's a lot of work, that one contract, and it will bring in a nice amount of money for us to have as well. But I will get the JCB attached with the here, we'll get some lights on as well. It is quite dark now. As I said before, I will do this properly, so I will fetch the JCB, get the bale wrapper, which we are going to keep for the time being. So get that put there. We'll go get the pallet forks, which will allow us to pick up the bag, and we'll get it put into the fertilized spreader. Right, there we go. That is much better. So as soon as that is full up, or empty rather, then we can get started in that field. And we did need a bit of extra fertilizer anyway, so it wasn't like we're buying it just for this particular field. But the thing is, we do have to get it done in this month, because in the next month it'll be ready to harvest, and we don't want to miss our opportunity to get a very nice spread onto this particular field, because it is a fairly substantial field, and it's there is no nitrogen at all in the field. I do just want to ensure that we have the greatest possible width that we can, which I believe should be just like this, and we'll ensure that the sensor is on. Turn on. There we go. Crop sensor requires daylight. Oh no! So that means we can't do it then. So what happens, I'm just going to try something, what happens if we attempt it anyways? I want to see if it actually will work or not. It does. That's absolutely brilliant. Maybe that sensor is more so for doing drilling and the such. So if we can manage to get this all fertilized, that will be brilliant. This should only take a matter of seconds, so a very quick time lapse indeed. Alright, well, we have completed. That was very quick, and I'm glad that I took advantage of the additional width options to find a smaller width so that we're not wasting our fertilizer. Right, let's have a check now on the helper. It's getting on very well, driving through hedges, but nevertheless getting on quite well. Now, look at that sunset. Absolutely stunning. Right, well, we will let the helper crack on with this, and blimey, this requires some sort of screenshot at least. Oh, am I in the way? Sorry. I just needed to get something. It's just too nice of an opportunity to miss it. Might be a thumbnail, that one might just be for me, we shall see. But as it stands, we are at the very end of September, and I would reckon also the very end of the episode. As you can see, the helper is just about done. We will get the same helper to come out and help with the rowing as well. The thing is, I will probably do a bit of a headland along here. In fact, I will probably stop the helper and just complete it all myself, because really I think we can manage the rest on our own. And then we'll get a helper on to do the rowing, and of course we don't need to ted it or anything, because these are going to be silage bales. But as soon as we have the helper helping with that, then we can carry on with our alfalfa drilling in October. So until the next episode, thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy it, a cheeky thumbs up really does help out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it as well. So until the next one, please do take care, and bye for now.